Tuesday, March 3, 2026, AGNDD until I report topic. Israel hits Beirut and Tehran as Trump warns Iran of escalated strikes. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. Israel hits Beirut and Tehran as Trump warns Iran of escalated strikes. The U.S. is reducing its diplomatic presence in parts of Middle East as embassies come under attack. CNN, updated 6:35 a.m. ST, Tuesday, March 3, 2026. Here's the latest. War with Iran. Israel said it is conducting simultaneous strikes in Tehran and Beirut, targeting Iranian military sites and the Iran-backed group Hezbollah as its troops intensify their push in Lebanon. The UN has also confirmed damage to a fuel enrichment plant in Iran, the first confirmation since the U.S. and Israel launched a military attack on the country. Americans warned. Iran, meanwhile, is continuing to strike U.S. allies in the Middle East. The U.S. State Department ordered non-emergency personnel to leave 6 Middle Eastern countries after urging Americans to leave the region immediately. Trump on Iran. President Donald Trump told CNN, "The biggest surprise of the war has been Iran's attacks against Arab countries in the region," adding, "The big wave of the U.S. attack on Iran is yet to come." But his administration has been shifting the goalposts and contradicting itself since the start of the operation. Less than 1 minute ago, end goal is to cripple Iran's Islamic regime, says former IDF soldier, by Charlotte Reck. The end goal of the Israeli government is to cripple the Islamic regime in Iran, a former Israel Defense Forces IDF soldier has told CNN. The end goal at this stage is to try to cripple, Miri Eisen told CNN's Elex Michelson earlier. That doesn't mean demolish, but to cripple the capabilities the Islamic regime have in Iran. The Israeli population is largely supportive of its government's collaborative operation with the United States across the Middle East, according to the retired colonel. The bulk of Israelis support this, she said. I would say even a change of government in Israel would not change the way that we feel about this Islamic regime's threat. Eisen, who is currently sheltering with her sister in Tel Aviv, also described a national appreciation for U.S. President Donald Trump, saying he is overwhelmingly popular in Israel. Unlike Israel, U.S. voters have largely expressed disapproval of the Trump administration's military action in Iran, citing little desire to be engaged in conflict abroad. But Eisen said Israeli voters find Trump's foreign policy favorable. Less than 1 minute ago, UAE's Fujairah oil zone hit by fire after drone intercept, authorities say, by Ayad Kurdi. Authorities in the Emirate of Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates responded to a fire that broke out in the Fujairah Oil Industry Zone, FOIs, Tuesday morning after debris fell following the interception of an Iranian drone, according to a statement from the Fujairah media office. No injuries were reported, the statement said, adding that the fire was brought under control and normal operations in the area have resumed. Fujairah is a strategic energy hub for the UAE. Located on the Gulf of Oman, outside the Strait of Hormuz, it is home to key storage and export infrastructure, including facilities that allow crude exports to bypass the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil that Iran has threatened to close. Less than 1 minute ago, Hezbollah retains launch capabilities, warns Israeli military as it intensifies strikes in Lebanon, by Tamar Michaelis and Oren Lieberman. The Israeli military said Hezbollah still has launch capabilities and stockpiles of missiles, as it increases strikes on the militant group's sites in Lebanon. The warning came as a Hezbollah projectile damaged a home in northern Israel on Tuesday morning, the country's fire and rescue authority said, amid a dramatic escalation of fighting between Israel and the Iran-backed militant group. Photos from the scene showed some damage to an outside wall of the building and debris scattered around the area. 4 people were lightly injured, the officials said. Hezbollah still has launch capabilities into Israel, said Israel Defense Forces, IDF spokesman Brig. General Effie Dufresne in a briefing on Tuesday morning. It retains missile stockpiles, although they have been significantly damaged, both missiles and UAVs, drones. Meanwhile, Israel has expanded its assault on Hezbollah, seizing more locations in southern Lebanon and carrying out strikes against what it says are the militant group's sites in Lebanon. The IDF also issued evacuation warnings for villages in southern Lebanon ahead of anticipated strikes. "We have struck them and we will continue to strike them," Dufresne said. Less than 1 minute ago, UN confirms first damage to Iranian nuclear facility following US and Israeli bombing, by Ross Levitt and Sana Noor Haq. The UN's nuclear watchdog confirmed damage to a fuel enrichment plant in Iran, in the first confirmation of damage to the country's nuclear facilities since the US and Israel launched a military attack on the country. The Natanz fuel enrichment plant, one of Iran's most sensitive nuclear installations, sustained damage to the entrance buildings, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, citing recent satellite imagery. There was no radiological consequence and no additional impact detected at the plant itself, the IAEA added. On Monday, IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi said there was no indication any nuclear installations had been struck in Iran. Satellite photos showed hits to a large warehouse and two smaller two-story buildings earlier Tuesday, according to CNN's analysis of images from spatial intelligence company Vantor. U.S. bombing of nuclear sites in Iran last June wiped out power to parts of the heavily fortified facility, which has 6 above-ground buildings and 3 underground buildings, 2 of which can hold 50,000 centrifuges, according to the non-profit Nuclear Threat Initiative, NTI.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD and Tele report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers!